Good afternoon, LinkedIn. I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend today. Hopefully, you're off. If you're in the nonprofit space, I'm sure there is never a day off for you. But I hope that even if you don't watch this video live, you have an opportunity to talk with me about event burnout because event burnout is a very real thing. And so I think a lot of times people kind of accept it as a norm, right? Because it's what we've always done. So there's the attitude, don't fix what is still working. But really, my question is it really working? Is nonprofit event burnout really working for your team, or have you made it work for your team? So the first thing I want you to understand is what this event burnout actually costs you. So the first thing I can tell you that it costs you is sponsorship and donor dollars. Why is this? What I've found after doing several events over the years is that the most important piece of marketing event is after the event. It's when you can speak to all the people who chose not to be involved this year, show them what they missed, and now next year they're guaranteed to be involved. So that's the first thing it costs you. The second thing it costs you is your actual donor engagement. Like I said, if you fall off the face of the earth after that event, which most nonprofits do, the donors are going to be waiting to see what's next. And they're going to give you about a week to figure that out. After that week, they've moved on to the next thing because your nonprofit is not a priority in that person's life. So if you aren't doing your due diligence to stay top of mind for your donors, they're not going to do it for you. The third thing, and in my opinion, is the most important thing, especially in the space that we're in now from an HR perspective, is your impact on your employees' personal time. So by doing what you've always done and working your team down to the bone, that's not really helping your organization from a long-term perspective. And I think understanding what it costs you is the first step to beating your nonprofit event burnout. No longer accepting the norm, pushing your team to think differently, plan in advance. So the next piece of this is take action to actually identify your true goals. So whenever you're hosting any event in your nonprofit, it's for two reasons. You want to increase community impact every time, anytime you're doing something in your community, those are your true goals. So knowing what your goals are and understanding what's required and understanding the impact if you choose not to outsource this is going to be key to helping you beat that nonprofit event burnout. That means you're going to have to hire some supplemental services, okay? That means that you can't rely on your program manager to be an event manager. You can't rely on your staff who's part-time to do things that is really not in their job description, nor is it in their specialty. You can't rely on them to run the social media. You can't rely on them to manage the videography and the photography. It's just not fair, and nor does it garner the best results for your nonprofit. Remember, what are the goals? Increase donor engagement and increase community impact. Those are your goals whenever you're hosting a nonprofit event. So by hiring supplemental services, especially in the space of marketing, you actually boost team morale because guess what? Your team can do exactly what they signed up for. They can do the job that you hired them for. Imagine that, right? Imagine your team being able to operate in their area of genius without being interrupted. Imagine how much you would no longer be behind on casework. Imagine that, right? And the other piece of this is whenever you're hiring supplemental services, especially services like our event marketing for nonprofit signature events, you're going to see real results. And it's not going to come at the expense of sponsorship dollars and donor engagement and family time for your staff and morale for your staff. So the results we typically see include an increase in social media followers and engagement, which is going to help you in the long haul in terms of brand awareness. It'll also open you up for more partnerships with other organizations, both on the for-profit and nonprofit side. You're also documenting your place in the community, which means that when you go after those grants and when you go after these additional opportunities and partnerships, you can actually demonstrate that you've been active in the community, as opposed to what usually happens when you have that event and everyone's so tired by the end of the event that nobody is really focused on making sure that we actually capture what happened during the event and present that in a format that is easily digestible to the public. The other thing we usually see is an increase in donor engagement. This is literally I've seen it go from $0 in donors to $20,000 in donors off of one event, and just of implementing this and having an intentional focus on your event marketing. So it is a big, big shift. The other piece is just the general increase in sponsorship interest. When people see that not only do you have events, you run them well, but you also document them, that is what donors, corporate sponsors, that is what they care about. Because if they give your organization money, they want to see what their money did. They want to be able to put that in a press release. They want to be able to go on Channel 7 or Channel 5 to make sure that everyone knows about the impact that they're having in the community. So all of these are ways to beat event burnout for your nonprofit. And the first step to doing that is by enrolling in our nonprofit signature event marketing program. And this program lasts for 6 months to help your team plan, capture, and effectively market everything that's happening during that event. So if you're interested, the link is attached to this post. If you want to learn more about this program, I've been doing this series for about 8 weeks, and I can answer all the questions you might have and provide you with all the tips you might need to successfully get through your next signature event. If you have any questions, something wasn't answered, feel free to reach out to me directly. But aside from that, this will be the last week of this series for now. We are rolling into the holiday season, so I'm super excited about that. But I look forward to hearing from you all. I'm now accepting clients for the month of January for now. So we'll see how the rest of the week and rest of the month progress. But remember, in order to enroll in this program, your event has to be at least 3 to 4 months away. We try not to do too many things last minute, so we want to make sure that we have enough time to strategize and implement all the exciting things that this program offers. So don't procrastinate, don't wait, don't email me too much before your event and say, hey, we need to make this happen. That is not how this works. We have to plan. If we want to be effective, if we want to be efficient, if we want to beat nonprofit event burnout, we have to plan in advance. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you're sharing this with your executive director if you aren't the executive director, and I hope you are tagging your nonprofit director friends on this video so that they know exactly what they need to save their team's morale, increase donor engagement and sponsorship dollars, and really rock it out for that next gala, that next golf tournament. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys again in a few weeks. Bye.